Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so as you might have noticed, my my current task has had me um, trying to fix this graphical situation. So right now I've kind of got it pinned where it looks the best, but it's not. It's not this. So you can see when I resize, things kind of get out of whack a little bit. It's not particularly great. The football's holding up pretty well. I'm still not sure exactly why the bottom bar is moving and the scroll bar is stuck. So there's something weird going on here. I'm not exactly sure what it is. Something's bigger than my window. So, but it's not bad. It's definitely could be worse. You can see as I get going here, my bar, the gap underneath gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The closer I get to bottom size, the closer it gets to actually being, I don't even think I can ever get it down to the right amount, but that's about as close as I can get it. So there's still a little tweakage that needs to happen here. But I really, I'm not, not totally sure what I want to happen here. I've seen this on other websites, not just my own, where the scroll bar exists even though there's no more data underneath it. What might cause my window to have a scroll bar even though there is nothing to display. In fact, it exists no matter the size of the window. Overflow properties. All right, let's see. Several things. Overflow properties. Overflow scroll or overflow Y scroll forces a scroll bar. For overflow settings on parent container. Do I have an overflow setting? I remember that sounded familiar. Ah, overflow hidden. What is that going to do? Let's take that out. Let's see if what it's doing, if it breaks my... This is related to my images, though, so I'm a little worried about changing that. No, well, if that's the thing, it didn't have any effect there. Yeah, that doesn't seem to have any effect. And I'm a little... I think ultimately what I need to do is somehow have my table needs to somehow lock to the size. Maybe lock to the size of the image? Not necessarily line up with the image, but lock to the size of the image or some relationship to the image. Because... Well, the field's going to keep growing, but I need the table to kind of always grow with it. But also not to overgrow. Is overflow a thing anywhere else? Is that the last time I used it? It's the only place overflow shows up. So, I'm not exactly sure what it did to aid or abet my current situation. What else? Height padding issues. Absolute or percentage heights that exceed the parent container. the parent container is, what is the parent container? The div? 500 pixels? No, that's the height. Oh, maybe I need to change that. If that div is containing my entire height. All right, let's see. 500. Shouldn't even need to be 500, but let's just see what that does. No, probably 500 is a bit much. Let's go. I could probably even add it up. Let's see what it thinks it's supposed to be. So I've got 100%, but I do have a couple things that are like 100, 125, 140, 155, 255, so say 300. Boo. That got worse, not better. That got really bad. I was like, whoa. That is no way. That is way. All right, so how about, so VH must have thrown it off. So 100. So let's say, well, if not 100, what would it be? And the minimum height did not work for dang. I don't even know what, to be honest, I don't even know what 500 pixels is. I'm trying to figure out what 500 pixels stops things. But 100 didn't do anything except blow it up. So nothing like the technical things of trying to tweak my space. All right, so what else would it be if it's not 100? I could try to reduce it more. I mean, 90? It does shrink the... It is shrinking the area, but it's still never... It's like, look how far along I have to be to get it to be a complete screen. That's like weird. Why do I have to... Why does it have so much extra space? That is just... weird. Is it my minimum height? Let's try. It's like totally not right. But I'm more concerned about why do I get in this scroll bar? Why? Well, I'm not more concerned about it, but I need my table, my total table height. All right, let's try something else. I'm going to try to set my total table height to something else. So let's see if I can get this to be fixed. We're going to say height. Instead of saying 70%, we're going to say equals, let's see, what is it? Equals, I think I actually have to do this with the thingy bobber here. And this might not work because I don't know that you can, oops. I don't know if Tailwind will let you do this. Well, maybe, let's see, class name. I got too many mixes of stuff. It's probably not benefiting me in any way, shape, or form. CSS and class names everywhere. Okay. All right, let's try this. So we need to do this guy, followed by this, and then this, and oh, nope, I was right the first time. Just gotta put a squiggly in there. Okay. And then this guy has to have my $sign. Oh, wait. Oh. This guy has my $sign. And this would be my image ref dot current dot height. What am I using up here? Oh, it's just image size. Never mind. Image size. Well, it definitely squished my table. Even though my image is growing, my table is not. As you can see, my table is staying very much not that size. So we have my image. The table's height is image size dot height. Is this supposed to be pixels? I don't know if that matters, but let's do that. No, it probably doesn't need that. Image size dot height dot width. So we got numbers that are coming in, and that's calculating, I think. And then, if that's updating, I may have to recompile this just to get to get it back down to okay. So we got image size dot height. 10% of whatever this is, followed by well, my image is definitely taller than whatever this is showing right now. There's no doubts about that. So let's close this, because I mean, if the image is on top, the image should never be. It should be that the table is going to extend out past the size of the image, because it's starting lower, because it's starting underneath other stuff. So it should never be smaller than the image. Which should be fine, because I want the blue text to show up under the label, so it's kind of be offset, but that's okay. I want it to be offset. Now, of course, I need to make sure that my image stays stuck to the top, but I think it's doing that. I'm not sure. Look again. I know I need to get to Go. I should go work on Go for the rest of the day. Just so that I could say I said today would be Go and React. So if I go work on Go for a couple of hours, I got time for a couple of hours of good Go development here. So maybe start working on my well, not start working, but continue working on my what do you call them? Microservices. So we will get somewhere soon here. Oh, you know, I keep forgetting. I got to schedule my door dashing tomorrow. Boo, DoorDash. I'm going to continue to complain about DoorDash until the day I no longer have to DoorDash. Which who knows when that'll be. But it is... I got to set this up. Let's see. What time am I dashing tomorrow? How about 11 to 1? Let's see if it's available. Schedule... Tuesday. There we go. 11:30 to 1. There's not really a 2 option. There's 12:30 to 1. That's weird. How come? There's a 11:30 to 1 p.m. in my area, and a 2 to 7 p.m. So basically, there's an hour in the middle there. Oh, and there's a 12:30 to 1 a.m. Oh no, that's tomorrow. 12:30 is not tomorrow, isn't that Wednesday? That's weird. All right, well, an hour and a half. Woo! We'll do it. So I've signed up for tomorrow. Let's go ahead and sign up for Wednesday. Boo. 11 a.m. We'll go to, got to get in, oh God, 2 p.m., 3 hours? That'll work. An hour and a half to, was it an hour and a half? An hour and a half tomorrow, 3 hours on Wednesday. Yuck. Okay, well, I've scheduled. I can't say I didn't do it now. Okay. Back to it. That didn't do anything, did it? My image is obviously bigger than this, so why is it not working? How might I set the background image, or no, the total table height to match the background image height? Have I been spreading out my questions well? Because it's not told me yet that I'm running out of time. Claude usually runs out of time. Based on the code you've shared, you've already trying to set the table height using, however, a few potential approaches could help ensure the table matches the background image height. Yes. Alright, so table. Alright, so we've already got W full, table fixed, responsive table. Alright, so that doesn't quite do it what I want, because then there's style. Alright, so it's putting in a style here that I don't have for my table. And probably since it's doing that, I don't need to do what it is doing. Max height is the... Oh, that might work. So height could be minimum, but also whatever the maximum. Okay, so let's see if that works. All right, so what else? Consistent height percentages instead of using fixed pixel values. Use percentage-based height classes that add up to 100%. All right, so T-head, isn't that what I'm doing? 10%, T-body, 50%, and no, no. Let's go ahead and stretch this one out to 80. Just, if it's not right, I can always adjust it, but. All right, so we're actually kind of close. It might be a little off. Let's see how it sizes. That's actually not bad. I mean, it could be worse for sure. I still have a little bit too big of a gap. This implies that my image is overlapping more than I thought. So how is that image gap? How's that gap doing? That gap does kind of change as the image gets bigger. That's close. I want it. How can I make this? How can I make it be a little bit? How can I make it be? I think ultimately what I need to do is fix my menu bar. I think I need to fix the menu bar. The menu bar is in the way. It's starting to become a problem. Or I need to lock my stuff outside of the height of the image bar. That's one of two things has to happen. Either I got to lock my image down outside of the image bar so that I can not have that there. It's like my menu is no longer, the image is going behind the menu bar. And I don't actually think my menu bar is, or what if I set this at 100 pixels? Oh, that's the pixel. Oh, never mind. That's the. That's not right. I want not the div, but the image. That's too much. How about 75? Okay. So it pushes my image down so it's not floating up behind the okay. That's looking pretty good right now. That's looking really good. Look at my football staying nice, and I'll have to adjust where the football starts, but right now, gotta say, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's move the football down. Its starting position is a little high right now. So starting position of my football is a little bit on the high side. Oh, that's up here. All right, so we need that to be image size, width, height. It's consistently where it's at, so the top. How if I just say the top plus 75 because I pushed it down. 75, so we'll just move it 75 pixels down. Plus 75. It's not a percentage situation, it's just a... There we go. Still not perfect. Football still moves a bit more than I want, but it's actually not bad. Yeah. I think that works for me. Just trying to decide now if obviously my football, I still haven't quite mastered the dimensions of the football movement. You can see it's going off the field right now. That has been kind of a thing, trying to get this thing to work within a radius, a width that works for me. And it's supposed to just move side to side on the field, but I haven't quite mastered the starting point. And since I don't ever announce the yardage point, I don't know what yard line I'm supposed to be on. I need to go like maybe put something in the middle that shows the, like I have the 1st and 10, and I should have like the yard line, own 35, opponents 25, whatever, and it just adjusts. Another thing to calculate. But it could be done. I mean, it's not that hard, but I still need to, I have to figure out based on where they are on the field. I had a calculator that told me the yard line. In fact, I may actually have it in the offensive was it offense? Maybe it's on the special teams. But I was using a calculator that actually determined the yard line, the yard marker. I didn't even know you could do this. Highlight and the image comes on. That's new. New to me. It's I don't know if it's new. It's just new to me. Okay, so special teams. Yeah, the yard line calculator is right here. I wonder if I could just use that. Can I? Where is because I'm using special teams file, right? Yeah. So if I say yard line calculator, and then I just put it in here. Let's go, let's add another value to my, what is it? Game status? Play status? Current play? Let's do current play. Game state, current play, we'll say, current yard line. And this is just going to be a string. Or actually I could say a number. We'll say 50. No, 30. Yeah, we'll just say 35, because that's where you start generally, right? And then we will, because you're on your own and then you're on the defenses. So we just need to go down here and at the same, on the same space, right in the center field that I don't have anything. We will say current play dot current yard line and we'll say something like if yards to go. Okay, so if nope, not if current play dot yards to go is less than 50, we will say opponent and else and we will say how does that work? Okay, so I want to have all right, so if yards to go is less than 50, it's the opponent's 35. If it's on their own side, it's on their own 35. I don't really have an equals 50 on your own 50-yard line, but yeah, close enough. It's like you should have just say the 50-yard line, but nobody's gonna notice. I'm going with nobody's gonna notice. That's the strategy I'm with. Own undefined. Okay, so my number is not calculating yet, which is fine. I gotta probably pull it. Oh, am I not? Have I set it? Oh, I may not even have set it yet. I mean, I have it, and I have the calculation for it. I just need to. I need to actually set it probably in here. Current play info. Oh, play info doesn't have it. Ooh, play info doesn't have it. Play info doesn't have it. What do I do with that? All right, I got to move it. It's going to be game state. Because I set the values of game state. I don't set the values of the current play. That stuff just gets set. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll just stick it in here. It's not a big deal. I mean, it is kind of a game state thing. So I'll just change it to game state. Current yard line equals, what is it called? Yard line calculation. Okie dokie. Yard. Oops. How did I do it up here? Coach. It is just yard line calculation. Okay. then we go down here, and we go here and change this to, where to go? This one, game state. Nope. Wrong one. This one changes game state. Ah, what happened? Your line calculation is not defined. What? Oh, wait. It is yard line calculation. So can I not do that? Can I not call the function in another class? Oh, that's a bummer. How would I do that? Is it possible to reference to use a function in a class or in a React file I am referencing? Well, imported functions. Function, my component, constant, calculate something. Oh, well, I know I can create the function. I was just wondering if I could pull it from specifically, which depends on where the function is defined. My function is in a file I am importing. Import your function from, oh, I have to actually call the function specifically. Okay, so I have to import specifically that function. All right, so if I go up here, and it's coming from here, I could probably try something. Yeah, maybe not. I was going to try and just call a different thing, but maybe I have to actually say what it's called. Import your function name from your file. I wonder if I can do... Would this work? Comma. What's the name of it? This might not work, but I'm curious if it will work. Worst it does is tell me, dude, you don't know what you're doing, man. And I'd be like, you're right, I don't. Let's see what that does. Hey, it stopped crying about it. Now, it's not to say that this hot reload's going to do squat, but hey, own 35, check it out. It did work. It's still got an error going though. Is not a function. What? Run special teams play is not a function. Oh, it broke my broke my specialty. So you can only do that as a function if you're going to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to call them separate. Darn. All right. I can call other stuff, but I can't call that one. This is gonna have to be done the old-fashioned way. I will need to change the color of my text here though. Two. Oh, this is the one. And my text needs to become, I'll do the same color as that one. Oh, I definitely don't need it to be 80% of the thing though. I don't even need to have that be anything. Right. That works. It's probably not as navy as I'd like, but it's pretty good. It's, if I can go darker maybe. Meh, didn't really go darker, did it? It's like, what is navy? It's not really changing colors, but well. Oh, all right. Well, all right. We got to stop this. Maybe I need to recompile. I got some explaining to do to my code. That was a lot of changes it let me do and still return values, because usually I'm not able to do that many hot reloads. It usually just blows up on me. So I won't complain that it let me do that many at all. I'm happy about. I'm thinking, you know what, on one of my interviews, I may just tell them, look, go watch my streams. If it looks like I know what I'm doing, great, hire me. If it don't, I mean, I'll be glad to go through all the interviews you want. I'm tired of taking these technical tests. They're dumb. They don't consider a person's experience or ability to solve problems. They're very rigid, and they expect you to know specific things under the time pressure of somebody staring at you while you're doing it, which is should not be a realistic working condition. So I'm just like, I'm so tired of all these technical tests. I just don't think they're reasonable. I don't think that's a good way to tell what somebody can and can't do, especially when they've been coding for as long as I have. I think I've proven I know how to figure things out and get it done. But, oh well. Type error, special teams, Webpack, yard line calculation is not a function. Yes, it is. In fact, it worked fine a second ago. What is going on? What is wrong with these imports? My function works and still I get an error saying it is not a function. Ah, whatever. All right, back with ChatGPT we go. If the module exports a default function, but you import it as a named import, or vice versa, you'll get this error. Sample. Correct way. Or if run offensive play is a named export. Oh, really? But I think run offensive play, it's special teams play, by the way, but special teams play is a named export. Yeah, export default, special teams play. All right, so if the module exports a default function, but you import it as a named import. Your import wrong. Export default function. Export function run offensive play. So what is it complaining about? So my special teams play is trying to run this. So I have to say export. I am trying to reference this function in my import file. Oh, I do have to say export. Interesting. Well, it's not airing anymore, but my yard line ain't updating. Oh, there it goes, 34. That time it updated. 3rd and 12, own 33. Punt, they're on their own 17. Own 20. Not moving a ton, but we are moving. Own 22. See, that's totally wrong. See, something's off. Something's not right because we're not own 32. 5 yards should have me. Let's see, 5 more yards. See, how did I even go from the 32 to 27 from 5-yard gain? 4th and 7. Own 27. So we gained 3 yards, but we got to the 35. That's not possible. 38 didn't even complete a pass. Okay, so something's way off. My yards. Oh boy, I'm getting some weird. Okay, I may have some significant missing calculations going on here. Something's not right. I know this because my numbers are not landing in the right places. So look at 2nd and 7 from the 46. Now we got, okay, well, it punted. I don't want to figure that one out. Oh, that was a 14-yard loss. But he gained 10 yards, 43. Gonna punt. Nope, field goal attempt. Dang it. Okay, so pass ends on 35. We're not on the 35. My numbers are off. But still, I should be mathematically. So we got 11. See, I should have dropped the 35 to the 36 or the 34. So 3rd and 6 would go 34, 4th, 5. That worked. 34 to 39. And then we gained 25 yards. Oh, that's a kick into the end zone. All right, so -1 yard, 2nd and 11, 25-yard line. He's on the 24 all of a sudden. See, it's like it's off by a play. -4, 4th and 15, 24. All right, maybe I am off by a play. My yards to go is the result. Okay, something's... All right, so let's make sure I did this right. So if it's greater than 50 yards, then it's 100. So if it's 60 and the number to go is 70, so it would be 100 minus 70 be the 30-yard line. Is that right? If you've got 70 yards to go, that means we subtract 100. We would subtract 70 from 100. That would leave you on the 30-yard line. But 70 yards to go would in fact be the 30-yard line. Right. So that's fine. My calculation is fine. So if it's less than 50, obviously, I should probably set this to return if yards to go is greater than or equal to 50. That's actually greater than or equal to 50, then it's 100 minus. Otherwise, it's just whatever value it is. So it should be greater. I think greater is fine because it makes more sense to not do it that way. I'm trying to overthink it. Okay, so we're going to go to the game result here now. So if we're getting the yardage back at the end of the play, that should be the yard line we are on. So the yards to go at that point should update. I think part of the problem is, so we run the play, and then I think what it is this is not in sync. I think this usually changes by the time it syncs. So I think this is showing the next play by the time we get. So we're not getting the current play. So I feel like we're out of sync with the play. So we got 3 yards from the 748. We got -7. See, 7, it should be like 41. Then it goes -4. There's definitely something wrong with my yard movement. On the 24, -2. And then we got 5 yards, should be 29. Hey, Nintendo 504. I am making a football simulation. And I'm just finishing the this is mostly just the POC. I've got to do the back end stuff now where I start implementing the player stats and stuff. I've been working on that last week. I was going to do more of it today, but I got distracted by trying to do some graphical stuff to try to clean this up. And so I've got this simulation going where it's simulating a game right now, and it goes through the whole game. And I'm noticing that my football's not moving quite right, left and right. Again, this is kind of like, I want to call it the POC, proof of concept / prototype. It's not the full code and everything is going to go later. I mean, I'm turning it into, I'm going to have it be a mobile app that has like player stats and cool little pop-ups that show you what's going on in the game. So I got a lot of stuff involved, and I'm going to have a coaching component where you can choose how the brain thinks between games. There'll be stats and cards and other things that'll all be part of this. But this is just, I've been working on this now for 24 days. 24 days of coding. It's been it's about right, about a month maybe. And so I'm just trying now to, every now and then I'll go from doing back end or underneath code work and try to do some graphical stuff just so that it kind of looks like it's changing as we go. Because when you're changing code stuff in the back end, you don't see anything. There's no visual evidence of progress. So I figure if I do a little bit, spend a day here and there on the UI, it'll start showing some change in progress. So it's kind of what I've been doing. It's pretty good for the web part of it. So far, I like it better than Blazor. I was trying to work on doing Blazor earlier in the summer, not on this app, but on a different thing. And Blazor's just really, it's just long-winded. I feel like you have to write so much code just to get simple things to work, and it was really getting on my nerves. It just doesn't get to the point. Now, I am running into a lot of issues with React. One of my biggest, I'm going to be using Go for my backend. With a database, I'm going to try to use MongoDB. I'm going to use Go to, Go is going to write my microservices and APIs. And then I'm going to have them calling my Mongo database, because I want that to be my my structured form, although I've never actually done NoSQL. I'm actually an expert in SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, but I just don't feel like that's what I want to use. Plus, it's expensive. If I actually create a game that I want to use, to deploy and sell, I don't want to be paying the license fees for Microsoft SQL Server. That just sounds really expensive. That's already bad enough. I'm thinking I'm going to be using Azure as my my web host, because I need to store all my microservices, and I'm going to use Docker for my services controller, I guess. But I don't know enough about Amazon Web Services, so I'm just going to go with, I know a lot more about Azure, so I'll probably just do Azure. I'm hoping I can get it going pretty cheap for the free part while I'm developing. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I picked the back end based on some research and finding out what mobile games use, and some of the more popular games, finding what they do to kind of manage their back end and what UI, what game engines they use for their mobile apps. I'm going to be trying to do Unity on C#, but I'm probably not going to be getting to that for. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get to start fiddling with Unity for another 3 to 6 months, because I got to get a lot of back end stuff done. Of course, I've been only working on this a month. I've been moving along, getting my Go microservices. Maybe if I can get all of that UI, all the back-end stuff loaded up and functioning, at least at a basic level, maybe in a month or two I could start working on the Unity engine stuff and start learning that, and start actually doing some mobile app development, which will be fun because I've never done mobile app development. Heck, I've never done a game. In fact, every single piece of code and thing I'm doing here, I've never done before. I've been working on React now for about 5 months, but it's, I took some classes, started fiddling with the website, started thinking around with it. This is the first full-on app attempt. I'm using React, using Mongo, Go, and Unity. I've done C#, but I've never done it in Unity. So we'll see. It's gonna be a fun adventure of learning, lots and lots and lots of learning. But I'm looking forward to it. Assuming, of course, yeah, I use AI a ton. AI is kind of like my buddy now. I've becoming pretty good friends with Claude and Chijibit. I got to come up with a name for Chijibit. I want to pronounce his name instead of saying Chat GPT. I'm gonna start calling him Gupit. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a name. There's no good way to pronounce. I mean, at least Claude's got a name, right? Black Box AI. I can call him Bai. B-A-I. But or a Babai. Babai. That's what I should call him. Babai. ChatGPT. Well, ChatGPT lets you use 4.0, but you're only allowed to use it for, a few hours or a few hundred requests, or I don't know how many requests you're allowed to send. But then it downgrades you to 3.5 or something. All right, so one of the issues I'm having right now as I work on graphical stuff, I really wasn't going to. I think I really do want to switch over and go do some Go stuff, but I've been trying to figure out how to get my yard marker working, and I've noticed my where I am on the field is not quite matching up to where I'm actually at on the field. .5 Open AI. Oh yeah, Copilot's the other one I've used. No, I don't know. I don't know what 3.5 is. In ChatGPT based on OpenAI? I thought it was based on it. Right. Well, I am at the moment. I hit my limit earlier. It dropped me to 3 or 3.5 or something. But yeah, it was. It's 4 as long as you don't hit your limit for the day, because I'm not paying for it. I'm just riding the free wave because I'm unemployed, so I can't be paying for anything. All right, so I got to figure out what is going on with my. All right, so it's not in sync. Why is it not in sync? So my play comes back. I have a new yards to go. Yards to go should equal. Is it that it's not displaying it correct? So it comes back with the results of that play and the new yards to go, which should be correct for what it's showing, but it's not. All right, I think I need to log a line. I think trying to track it while it's doing it, I'm going to log a line. So really, you know more about it than I do, I guess. I'm just winging it. I didn't realize there was a difference between GPT-4 and GPT-4o. That's more info than I have. All right, so let's go here. I'm going to put in a line that says, all right, so let's see, console.log. Let's say play info. Yards on play. say yards. All on, and then we will say, let's go ahead and do a method here. We'll say let current yard line all on yard line equals. Oh, I think that's the problem. I'm reading the wrong thing. This is supposed to be play info. That's probably what's